These are the glasses that I put on when I tune the shit out of somebody's car.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Evo X Build Series. You might notice we're in a bit of a different location this morning. Looks a little bit unfamiliar, and that's because we are down with our friends at Boostin Performance because it is finally time to get our Evo X tuned and tuned right. If somehow you don't know who Boostin is, you're about to find out, and you are in for a treat. Tons of cool stuff to show you in here. We're gonna have a lot of fun, so enough of me yapping. Let's get inside. All right, so we are here with Devin Schultz, owner of Boostin Performance, the man himself.
I'm not sure if that was a handshake or not, but it looked like it.
Yeah, I appreciate. Hey, I'll take it.
No
We're
problem.
good. I appreciate it. Also, the owner of this bad machine, which I'm sure we're going to talk about in just a minute. Man, it'd be really cool. First of all, thank you for having us.
Absolutely, anytime.
Love coming here. Come here a couple times with some of our personal cars, but this is huge. Love bringing our shop car here. Really excited about what we're about to do. But honestly, I'd love to just get a little bit about who you are, Devin, and kind of what Boostin's about, what you guys do, maybe how you started. A little bit of background, maybe.
Sure. So I kind of got started just hanging out with buddies working on cars, you know, just kind of how everybody gets started. You know, we were wrenching on each other's cars in the garage, and then, you know, I would tune my car and it did really well, and then some other people started asking me to tune their car and they started doing well, started wrenching on them too, so it just kind of naturally progressed into what it is today. So, you know, from there we went AEM, from there we went Hall Tech, so it's just kind of like a natural progression. It evolved very naturally.
Speaking of evolved, now we're here, dude. What the hell is this thing?
What do you mean?
Like, tell the people what this, I mean, the elephant in the room. Like, so
Yeah.
you started there and now we're here.
Yeah, it's a fire-breathing 4G63.
Yeah, no
it?
kidding. Like, you get sucked into that bad boy standing in front of this thing. So this is Red Demon, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. So it's a billet 4G63. It's tuned on methanol. It runs an Apex 88mm turbo, Hall Tech engine management system, Nexus R5. And we bang gears with it, so we run it in the stick shift class, so it's an H pattern car. And we've been we've been 680s a couple times, but 685, and our best mile an hour is close to 217. I think it was like 216.8 or 216.9, something like that.
out of control, man. Just bananas.
It's fun.
Yeah, sounds like a fairly good time. What sort of boost you run in something like this?
So it all kind of depends, you know, through like elimination rounds, stuff like that. We're trying to keep the car happy, pass after pass after pass, like around 80.
80 psi.
When we were in Texas, we were running the car about 80 to 85 pounds, and the car actually went a 688 at that boost level without any nitrous and without us really even going after it. So it just came out of the hole really, really nice.
Yeah.
So I mean, once we connect all the pieces together and really get after it, you know, it's definitely got something better than a 680.
We've got our brick over here, our Evo X. Doing a couple things with it with you guys. I mean, yesterday I know we worked on our fuel system. You have a really nice flex fuel kit that we're going to utilize.
Yeah, so I mean, and all your parts really integrated well. I mean, it's a gorgeous looking engine bay. I mean, everything from the heat shield, I mean, all the piping, the logos on the piping. I mean, it's a killer looking setup. So
thanks, man.
It was kind of, you know, the fuel system was kind of the cherry on top. We got to put a nice fuel rail on it. And then, you know, the AMS regulator and fuel line kit's really, really nice. So our flex fuel kit, yeah, it basically integrates to the factory wiring in the back of the car. So it plugs into the fuel tank pressure sensor, and it plugs into the charcoal canister. And then it gets its power from there, and it grounds itself and sends the signal to the ECU through the fuel tank pressure. So,
super slick.
Yeah, I mean, it just integrates. It's a perfect, you know, plug and play option. It's actually really easy to install. and then the car gets real-time ethanol data and can change the tune based on that. And then what I like, and what it seems to be the trend among customers, is they don't want this big gauge reading ethanol content that never changes for a whole tank full of gas sitting in their car. So this doesn't have anything like that. You don't have to run wires up front. You don't have to run a gauge. It integrates directly to the cell phone, and we'll download that app to your cell phone and we'll show everybody in a little bit.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's probably the coolest part of the whole thing is just that, being able to run it on your phone. Like, that's really cool.
Yeah, it works well.
I like that. So plan is to turn this thing up a bit and see kind of what happens today.
We're ready.
Get to tuning.
All right, so we kind of touched base on the flex fuel sensor earlier and how that's integrated into the tune and how the ECU can read it. So these are kind of the settings that we basically blend the tunes. There's two different tunes. There's like the 93 octane tune and there's the ethanol tune. And then basically you can blend those maps if you get a mix in between or anything beyond or below what those two maps are set up for. So basically, right here, we've got ethanol content here, right? That ends up being on the x-axis right here. And this is how we're gonna blend fueling. So fueling would be like your injector scaler, which is like your main global injector or your main global adjustment for fueling. So it's like the main adjustment that would add the 30% for E85 or take away the 30%. Okay. And you can see how we're blending it evenly, all the way from 10% ethanol all the way up to 85% ethanol. Yeah. So that global adjustment will adjust all the way from 10% all the way up to 85%, right? Awesome. We do that for fueling, but then when it comes to the tune, there's basically three different settings for the tune. There's like the fuel map setting, there's the boost map setting, and there's the timing map setting. So on these, we actually don't do it the same. So you can see how it's flat from 10% to 20%. So we're gonna be using that 93 octane fuel target and timing target all the way to 20% ethanol. Okay. And it doesn't start blending right away. And then if you look at the upper end of the graph, we've got full boost and full ignition timing at the car at E75.
Okay.
So basically anything from E75 and above would be full power. So that'll have like your full boost target at it, and that'll have the full timing map of your ethanol tune at it. Anything above E75 will make the same power, but as you can see by that earlier graph, the fueling will still adjust. So say you have E75 in the car, the AFR target should hit, let's say 11.8 or 11.6. When you put E85 in the car, it's still gonna hit that same 11.6.
Cool.
So that's what's really nice about the flex fuel sensor. That looks really good.
Sweet.
These are the fuel trims right here, these two values. So you want these to be close to 0, and as you can see, we're driving around, and that's how much the car is compensating. It's going like -1, +1.
Wow.
So that shows you that the idle and the drivability tune-up for this fuel system is really, really close.
Very cool.
Boost curve was a little funky, so we got to figure that out.
Okay.
There we go.
That's the stuff.
There we go. That was like 22 pounds of boost, so we're in business.
Sick.
So we're already, I can get that graph scaled a little better, but we're already at the 300 mark.
Wow.
300 torque, 300 horse, and the car's really, really rich, and the boost isn't where it's supposed to be yet. So, I mean, it's going, like I said, a nice FBO car will be just over 300. You're doing that with ease.
Awesome.
So I'm going to go scale the graph correctly so we can look at it a little bit. little bit better.
Okay, perfect.
Boost adjusted. We've got fuel adjusted.
What do you think for a what do you think for boost target, like max boost on?
So on pump gas, maybe like a peak of 25, 26, and then it tapers down. That's usually where we'll put an Evo 10. On ethanol, we'll get it closer to 30 pounds. You know, like 28, 30 pounds, something like that.
Gotcha.
That looks really nice. Look at that power band.
Get it on there. Does look very nice, very smooth. Where do you set like rev limiter for a car like this, or a setup like this usually? Do you change it from factory, or?
Yeah, so the factory rev limiter I want to say is 7,400.
Okay.
So yeah, we can you can rev these. Like I said, they love RPM. These cars love RPM, especially when you put a bigger turbo on it. 7,800 on a stock car.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what this car is, 7,800.
Hell yeah.
Big turbo car, 8,200. I mean, RPM is not going to kill the engine. What kills the engine is too much torque too soon.
Sure.
That's what kills these engines. Like 500 horsepower on this dyno all day long, and the cars last years and years and years on the factory engine.
Yeah.
But it's with a big
awesome.
turbo, and it doesn't make a bunch of torque early in the power band.
Sure.
It just keeps making more. We gotta save something for the ethanol too.
I was gonna say, on pump gas, it seems extremely healthy. Like.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a boost spike at peak torque. That's why torque is so high. So we're gonna calm that down.
Man, she's a ripper.
Boost spike is gone. That's not by luck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so the pull before, I don't know if you saw it. It had that spike in it. So yeah, we just got rid of that, and that's why it's nice and flat.
Yeah.
So
This looks beautiful.
good eye noticing that.
After a very successful pump gas tune, it was time to get the car prepped for flex fuel. So we pulled all the pump gas out of the car and loaded it up with ethanol. Based on the results from the pump gas tune, we were expecting somewhere between 30 and 40 additional horsepower and torque on the ethanol setup. Once the fuel was exchanged, Devin got back in the car and got back to work.
Ready to party?
Let's do it.
All right. It's only 28 pounds of boost. This thing is making some good power for the boost that it's at.
Hell yeah.
Which means that it's it's just efficient and moving good air for that boost level. It's not like every Evo 10 at 25 pounds of boost is going to make the same horsepower. It's not.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So is this telling you something specific about maybe the setup on the car or anything like that?
It's everything is breathing very well.
Okay.
So that just tells you everything before the turbo, after the turbo. It's very happy.
Cool. Awesome.
There we go. There it is, 93 to E85 right now.
Wow.
Right? 367 torque,
Holy cow.
355 horse.
Spicy.
It was a lot of fun. Responded well. Made killer power. Like I said, like probably the top 5% of the Evo 10s we tuned. So
It's really cool to hear. Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
thanks for bringing it to us.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's an awesome result.
So since the car is tuned, we're gonna log it through all the gears, just make sure everything's happy.
Cool. Yeah, no big deal.
Get your car tuned down the street and then have your tuner verify like that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why a dyno is so valuable.
Right.
Perfect. So the red is your 93 octane, which was killer. 323. Let's not guess. Let's actually show you. Made 326 horse, 323 torque. That's the red line.
Very nice.
And then it got cranked up on the 85. That's your blue line. That's torque. That's horsepower. Just over 370 torque. almost 360 horse.
That's really good power.
Yeah, and you can see, I mean, it's jumping up the entire power band.
Jeez.
So, and that was at 27, 28 boost target. So like I said, usually it's 28 to 30, but we didn't need that. And it'll really only make that 30 pounds down here, which we don't need more power down there.
Sure.
So we've got the wastegate duty pulled way down low to where even if like you're on the highway or something and you like, it boost spikes, it really can't because of that electronic boost control solenoid will keep the boost down and keep the torque from spiking like that. So
sure.
That's really crucial when you're, you know, running close to the torque limit of the engine, which this is pretty close to the torque limit.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask about that as far as where we're sitting here.
You could make more torque, but I wouldn't suggest making it earlier in the power band. So we've got a torque peak of like 42, 4,300. That's pretty big, or that's pretty good. If you make that torque peak happen at 2,500 or 3 grand, this motor is done.
And you're saying that is the thing with these is where you insert the torque.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm super impressed.
Thank you.
I mean, just to boil it all down to one word, impressed, excited.
Yeah, I didn't expect this thing to make that much power on the stock turbo. So, and it's sick seeing the difference with the ethanol and pump gas. Like,
yeah,
tons more torque, you know, broader power band, everything. It's going to be a blast to drive.
Just very impressive.
And it's going to be seamless because you don't have to change tunes or like, oh, I'm on the wrong map, I got to change maps. It's like you pump the gas and you're done.
Yeah.
So
user friendly.
Say you put in E40, say a gas station has like E50 or something. It doesn't matter, the car will run perfect.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to worry about the tune being off. Say you put in E85, like really, really good, you know, the tune will be perfect. You don't have to worry about it, you don't have to switch it. So that's what's really nice for the customer, in my opinion.
All right, guys, we're back at the shop. Cannot say enough about Boostin and our experience there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and the whole tuning process. Devin nailed it, unsurprisingly. Everybody there was extrememely hospitable towards us. Literally can't say enough. Super happy with how things went. All right, so the thing is built, tuned, ready to rip. What's next? We're gonna use it. First order of business is gonna be some drag strip stuff, so stay tuned for that. That's coming very soon. We got some autocross planned, and then maybe even some big track stuff. You guys will just have to wait and see. But wait, there's more. The build's not done. As happy as we are with how this thing turned out and all of our plans for it this coming season, we have an entire second phase of this build planned for later this year that you are definitely not gonna wanna miss. For myself, RJ, and everybody here, thanks a ton for hanging out with us during this build series. We had a ton of fun. Hope you did too. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. Please subscribe if you had a good time because we'll be seeing you very soon.